Hello and welcome to Coffee with the Kays. We have coffee and we're the Kays.
Yes, we have coffee.
Good
Awesome coffee.
There we
awesome.
go.
Look
All right.
how pretty.
Cheers to you
Cheers.
guys. There we go. All
And
right.
I have water in a Boston University class.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I got the BU alumni.
Yes,
there you go.
Very
I got
nice.
that.
Yeah,
There we
that was
go.
a gift.
Yeah. Was it a gift?
Someone that loves you.
Oh, okay.
Who shall remain nameless. Yeah.
Thank you, Mom. Well, I'm kind of excited about the new pint glasses that they're going to be coming out with. You know, and I made a donation. It was like a small donation of like $10 or something like that. And they said whatever you donate, they'll give you the new version of the pint glass.
Cool.
And they let you vote on which one you wanted. You know. And I liked the one that was like really classic, like the campus silhouette, you know, kind of thing. But the other one looked cool too. It's got the dog Rhett, you know, sticking out.
Yeah, the Boston Terrier.
Yeah, the Boston Terrier. Yeah. And so
Josh,
that's the one that won.
In case you're new to Coffee with Kays, Josh got his master's in music education from Boston University.
Yay, go
So
Terriers.
that's why we talk about Boston sometimes. But Ron and Josh both are alumni of UWF.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we sometimes forget that to mention.
Yeah, that we're Argonauts.
You know, go Augies, whatever.
Argonauts.
I don't know what they are.
Argonauts.
We can edit that part out. No.
Well, that's the funny thing is because I don't think they were called Argonauts when you were going there.
No.
Yeah, it wasn't until I got there that they...
Argonaut was that clam-looking thing.
Yeah,
That's
the
what-
Nautilus.
yeah, the
Nautilus, yeah.
Nautilus, that was it. I remember me and Caroline used to joke about that. Oh yeah, the fighting Nautilus.
Yeah.
Those slime suckers.
There you go. Well, and Caroline went to UWF too, so we have, we definitely
all in the
UWF
family. We're a UWF family more than
we are.
Boston, but
But we like being Boston Terriers. I think that's good.
we're proud of UWF though.
We are,
The football team, they finally got going. You know,
Yeah.
They built
We
a
are.
stadium.
yeah,
It's awesome.
yeah, it's good.
It's good, and when you went there, that was the first year that you could get a bachelor's in music education.
That's right. I was
Which
talking to
was
somebody
wonderful.
about that because I remember when I was going to PJC, they didn't have that program, and that was one of the reasons why I said I wasn't going to go to UWF.
Yes.
It's because I didn't want to get just a bachelor's degree in music and not have I wanted the BME. And
There's not a lot of schools that have that. I have a BME, which is something that just was a happy accident at James Madison University. Go Dukes! Yay, purple and gold. So I know we are
The Royal
totally off
Marching Dukes.
topic, but I wore my JMU shirt, purple and gold letters with my JMU visor to the gym the other day, and Planet Fitness is purple and gold.
Yeah.
oh, that's
And
right.
so-
Everybody thought she worked
They
there.
did. People were like stopping me, asking me how to use the machines and stuff.
Oh man,
And
did you tell them?
No, because the one lady asked me like how to reset something, and I said I don't have any idea. And then she looked at me like, oh my gosh! And I went and got the guy to help her.
yeah.
But it wasn't till after I got him to help her I realized we were like dressed alike.
Yeah, that's it.
And I thought,
it. No, that happens to me
bummer.
if I wear blue to Walmart.
Oh,
Like if I wear a blue shirt to Walmart, people will ask me where stuff is.
We were in Walmart the other day what were we looking for? You remember?
Yes, we were looking for nausea bands so I could go see
That's what
the
it was.
movies these
And
days.
it
They make me
was on
nauseous.
aisle K
Oh, was
in the Twilight Zone.
Yes,
Because
it was.
it goes down the rows and it skips K.
What?
Yeah, it does. It's like the 13th floor in a building.
Oh,
They just
man.
didn't put it in.
That's
you know?
funny.
H-I-J-L,
L.
and we were
Yeah.
like, we're
Oh,
standing
geez.
there going,
Is it in the middle of the aisle?
What are we
Oh, it's
missing?
on this side? No.
Oh, that's funny.
we are missing
Yeah.
something.
Did you find him?
We had to
No.
ask a guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we asked the guy and he looked it up and said they didn't have them at that store. And we still were like,
Where did you get him then?
where did we get them? We had to go to the
Oh,
other one.
yeah, you got
Oh,
it.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. We went to the other one. Yeah.
We have really kind of we've skipped right over the coffee with the cakes.
All right, well, let's hit the coffee.
We did
All right.
we did like an ADD thing.
I have Jack Daniel's coffee.
There you go.
Yes.
There's no alcohol in there, folks. It's
Yeah.
not made with Jack Daniels. Although
I know, I'm
it
just
is.
kidding.
Oh, yeah. You're gonna blow my secret, are you? Well, there goes that. But no,
No,
it's
there
actually
really
a brand of coffee
Yeah.
made by the Jack Daniels company. Which,
It smells really good.
oh, it's delicious.
Now I wonder if you can get it in the beans because you got it ground.
Yeah, I got it from World Market, which
Yeah.
World Market is the cost plus 10% or whatever that they call it. But they have a really decent selection of coffee. Like
Interesting selection.
from all over.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is,
you can get some from Tasmania.
Oh, wow.
You know, yeah, like, you know, Costa Rica, you know, like there's all, they get them from all over, and there's the World Market brands, and then there's these, you know, other
Yeah.
brands, you know, but
And it changes out because if
right.
something's like in season, they'll
Yeah.
have that.
well, and at least here in Pensacola, it's the only place where you can find certain brands and stuff,
And
you know.
different coffee paraphernalia.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. But they had that's where I got the Jack Daniels.
It was a
stuff.
Father's Day present.
For
Thank you
Father's
very
Day,
much.
yes,
Yeah.
happy Father's
So
Day.
I don't know what I have, but it's very pretty. But what it's I said
What does it taste like?
okay.
That's
here
the
we go.
sludge we emptied from the oven.
And
I think it's the pecan one.
yes,
Okay,
Southern
pecan.
pecan.
Southern Pecan Drowsy Poet.
Hey, I did. Yay! High
Okay,
five.
That was good.
Woo.
That was good. Yeah.
I get nervous when I have to do those quizzes.
Yeah. She gets nervous.
It
Yeah.
tastes like oranges. Okay,
Oh my gosh.
never mind.
Yeah.
Everything tastes like oranges.
Other episode, people, you got to check it
And
out.
what are you drinking, Josh?
I'm drinking the same thing as Dad. I had
It
the-
is
the
good.
Jack
I-
Daniels.
I've had
made it in
it.
a French press. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
almost tastes like some kind of candy.
Yeah.
Oh.
There is something kind of sweet to it,
Yeah.
which I think is again
Does
the
it say
Jack
on
Daniels
the container?
What?
Does it say on the container what it's like? The notes of.
Oh no.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, they don't get that specific. So
So I'm very excited because I'm following a new account on Instagram called Coffeet World. I don't know why there's a T in it. Probably just so they could say that, but there's a T. It's Coffeet World.
somebody was typing real fast because they
And
hopped
that's
up
what
on
they
caffeine.
Yeah.
probably. But they have a picture. It says "Know Your Coffee." So then it has like a picture of these different things. So we went to a coffee shop. Ron and I. Josh wasn't with us. I had to order coffee, and I
How
was
dare
like,
you.
"Okay,
She
I want
pulls up the
this
app.
one." I
Yeah.
did. Well, I
Yeah.
actually took a picture. And it has a picture, like if you want a cafe latte, has espresso on the bottom.
Oh, do you want to tell them
steamed
where
milk.
you were?
Yeah, the
Do I?
$50 eyeglass
Eye
guy.
The $50 coffee guy.
Yeah, no. It's Eye Guy Coffee Guy
Yeah.
place on Davis.
So if you're not in Pensacola and you're listening to this, there's a guy that owns a eyeglass store called the $50 Eye Guy, and he opened up a coffee shop in the store, and now they're like taking over Pensacola.
Yes, because there's two. One's on one side of the street and the other's on the other
Isn't
side
there
of the street.
three?
Well, there's 3 eyeglass places,
Yeah.
but there's 2 coffee shops right across the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we decided it's because if you're on that road, it's hard to get to the one, so you can go on that side.
Yeah,
And then
so
you could,
one on either
And their
side.
coffee's pretty good. Their
It was
house
very
blend
good.
is
Yeah,
really good.
Well, and I have to say, like, so after you guys went and you told me how good it was and everything, then I went and, you know, I was skeptical because when they first opened up, I remember going with you and being like, okay, this is community drip coffee.
well, we were like, what type
Like-
of coffee?
Yeah.
And they were like, hot.
Yeah, they didn't know anything, and
Black,
then when we got it, it was stale, and it was just like
was
that was it.
awful.
I said okay, and then people were like, "Have you tried that $50 Eye Guy coffee?" I'd be like, "Yes, it's terrible. I don't like
Yeah.
it," you know, and then you know I sounded like a snob, of course.
Yes, because
you know.
someone even gave us a gift certificate, and I think we gave it to
I think we
somebody
gave it away.
else.
Yeah,
Shh,
because it was
if it
like
was you,
uh,
I hope not.
I know, right? But I mean, they're much better now.
It is
Oh,
very
it's,
good.
It's first rate. Man.
It was
Yeah,
delicious.
I got the Americana, and
Yeah.
oh my gosh, it was so good.
Yeah.
yeah,
and we
was
got,
very
like,
rich, very
I've had
lots of you know, it was complex flavors. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah.
Their espresso is very good. I don't know what they use, and they told me the last time I went. Not that like I'm going there all the time now, but I've been like 4 times. But because it's good now.
Yeah,
and,
it's good.
And they're going to get a nitro machine.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she said, because I asked for nitro and she said, not yet, but I'm working on it.
That's awesome.
So, but it was this was neat because it had like a cappuccino.
A visual.
Yes, the cappuccino has espresso at the bottom, milk, and milk foam. But then I could order a cappuccino with heavy cream.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's what they'll do: espresso, the heavy cream, but that's just
you're substituting the milk for the heavy cream. Yeah,
and flat white and Americano. I mean, I really then there was this one, the Irish coffee one they have, but you can't get that at the $50 iBuy.
Yeah.
So. But anyway, it was very helppful to me. I know it doesn't help if you're listening to the podcast. I'm trying to show you, but it's nice to have that.
Well, maybe we could post it on our
Ooh,
Instagram story. Yeah.
And then shout out to Coffee.
Yeah. And tell them we talked about it.
Yeah, very good. And I like
cool.
having mine in the glass mug so I can see.
So you can see it, I know, and you can clink your rings.
I can
against
clink
it.
Yeah, sorry.
Drive her husband crazy.
That's what she does.
Mm-hmm. There we go.
Cool.
Coffee.
So if you haven't done it already, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and like this video. I wanted to get that in right at the beginning. So I always say it at the end. I'm like,
I know,
let's mix it up. Do it at the
and
beginning.
give us any
subscribe.
questions or if there's any coffee you would like us to try and sample.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Feel free to send it over.
Yeah, really.
We've received quite a bit of coffee from our listeners.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We have
at least a dozen times, you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
That's good.
Well, now one that I want to try, I was telling you about, somebody gave me, it's vanilla, but it's from Costa Rica. And
yes.
It's so authentic that like everything in the bag is in a different language. Like there's,
yes.
So like it's actually from Costa Rica. So yeah. So we'll have to try that next time.
And Josh was at a workshop the other day, and apparently he was having a lull in the moment, and he sent me a thing about
I was
Guatemalan.
working very hard.
I know you were. He sent me an article about Guatemalan coffee that was really good. It was really about the whole industry of coffee in Guatemala and how important it is to the economy there. And
Most coffee in the world.
Well, that's it. And you know what I thought was insightful about the article was I thought there was always something wrong with how Guatemalan coffee seems to be always available, like it's always in season.
Oh, well, they explained that.
And then they explained in the article that basically yes, it is, because there's
different parts of the country.
There's these microclimates that are created through different parts of the country, and so essentially.
See, if you didn't subscribe, you probably wouldn't know that.
Right?
You would have missed out on.
You would have missed that information. Yeah. That's right. This is why, we're educating people here.
That's
good.
Yeah. Good. So what are we going to do next?
We're going to talk some music.
Okay, music next.
Okay.
There we go.
All right, so a while back, one podcast ago, when we were doing that one, we were thinking of ideas. But there was so much to do, we couldn't get in the last podcast, and now time has come and the door to what we were talking about has already opened up. So we're talking about summer and the effects of summer on the learning cycle of a student learning to play an instrument.
Oh, yeah.
And how in school, kids they're acclimated to that, work while you're in school. Then you start the summer countdown, then you stop working so much. By the end of school, you're not doing any work.
Right.
And what happens with the practice for your instrument is the same thing. You just shut it off. Like, that's work.
Right.
This is summer. I don't do work in summer. It's like a religious thing,
Yeah.
And then they lose a lot of what they gain because they stop practicing. And I just wanted to address that.
The summer slump.
Yeah, you can't let that happen to you if you want to continue to make gains in your development. You have to learn to practice year round. And I always liken it back to when we were homeschooling him.
Yes.
And how the first time he was in school and he didn't do schoolwork during the summer. Somebody stole his brain. I mean, he literally, it was like retraining him for
2
3
months.
months afterward.
No, I
And we
remember.
said, not again.
Not
So
happening.
then we
It was really
started doing a
frustrating.
little bit of work in the summer just to kind of keep it fresh. It's kind of like the rudiments. If you do the rudiments
Right.
every day, you'll get them up to a certain level, and then if you just hit them every now and then, to brush the dust off, you'll stay. It'll
For our
it'll stay at that
non-drummer
level.
people, rudiments are like the equivalent of scales for drummers.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, and then we worked with scales too.
Exactly.
And it does. And with voice, it's, my voice, if any of my voice students are watching, it's page 9, number 27. Exercise everybody does. And it's just a warm-up, E-A-R, and it keeps your
Is that
voice
what it
warmed
is?
up.
Yeah.
Basically like that.
Yeah.
That's it.
Sounds like a computer.
They know what it is.
Okay.
Because everyone does it.
Yeah.
And so because you have to do something. You have to keep singing. If a student hasn't been singing all week,
Yeah.
and usually singers will sing, but they won't practice. They'll sing because they'll sing in the car and they'll sing in the shower and they'll sing, but they don't, it's not productive singing. So
They
I
don't
try
apply the skills that they're learning to their application
Yes.
in their singing.
Or,
That's a big problem for a lot of people, is they learn the skills to impress you or whatever, but they don't apply that to their singing.
Right.
And then they wonder why they can't sing that much better.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day.
You have to put it into practice, man.
There becomes this disconnect with voice sometimes, that they do the exercises and the things that I have them do, and they're doing great, and their range is growing, and their tone and their vowels, and then it's like, okay, let's do a song, and they don't put any of that good stuff that they did in the song. It's they go back to all their old habits. So this week with voice, really, it's been mindfully singing. Put the radio on, sing with the radio, but think about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Are you supporting? Are you focusing the tone? Are you shaping your vowels? Are you leaving off the ending R's? Or are you just bathtub singing, I call it, where you're not thinking about everything?
Could be the shower.
Yeah. But most people now,
Shower singing's better than bathtub.
it is much better. People that sing in the shower will belt it out, is what I'm told. I have never been a shower singer.
Because you're just standing.
Yes.
Yes.
Lengthened.
But I call bathtub singing when it's just so easy. You could lay in the bathtub and sing. It's like, it takes no effort. And so put the effort in and use that time. And because voice people have their instrument all the time. So they can sing and practice on the way to and from work.
There's no
Well,
excuse.
this whole concept of gaining skills and then applying the skills is there's a disconnect there sometimes.
Yeah.
And I see that when you're teaching people skills through exercises, and then you give them a song to play, and they don't utilize the skills they gained in the exercises to play the song. And this is like once in a while, it's an anomaly, but it does happen. And you're like, how is that possible? I mean, I use songs, modern songs and whatnot, as a way of showing where you're at. Like if you were going to school, you'd get a test every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Why do they give you a test?
To see what you
Just
know.
to make sure you're up to speed,
Yeah.
And if you flunked the test, well, guess what? You didn't really get it. You got to go back and do it over again. You know? It's the same kind of thing with doing songs.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and I had a student kind of freak out over that little concept there of getting a song and being like totally unprepared for doing real music. And it's like, man, what are you doing here?
Well, I think there's a couple of things that factor into that being a problem. For one thing, drills are easy to a certain degree, in the sense that, like, if you have a drill or a scale
They're
or
short.
rudiments, they're short,
Predictable.
they're easy to understand, they're measurable, because you can take it, like if you're working your scales, and you're doing eighth notes at 60, and you get it down, then you could go eighth notes at 70 and eighth notes at 80, and you could just kind of keep working it up like that. But when you go to do a song, now, the idea of creating music, not just, playing or singing, not just vocalizing, comes into play. And I think that's a different thing. That's a different concept. And it's the paint the fence, wax on, wax off. That's it. Right?
No,
because you want to have those skills practiced so much that when you get put into a real world situation, it comes natural, right? So sometimes it might be the case of the person hasn't done enough drilling to get it to the point where it's second nature, so that they can comprehend the music and not have to think about the skills. It's almost like there's too much thinking going on.
Overanalyzation.
Oh, right. Or it could be, the other way, that it's like sometimes I see people get stuck in their own head where it's like, oh my gosh, this is so big. Like, if they've done a drill that was like a couple measures,
right?
And compared to a song, which is several pages, I have a drum student right now, and I think that's, she did so much better at her last lesson, but I think that initially that was something that was hanging her up when we started this song she was working on, is the fact that it was 3 pages.
Yes.
And it's...
I think they get overwhelmed a lot of times.
Oh yeah, and when you look at it, you see all that black and white on the page.
From a teacher's perspective, this is so cool.
Oh,
you're gonna love this. This is an awesome song. You're gonna play this amazing song, man. And it's like,
what?
Meltdown.
Right. And so, kind of coming to grips with what, how this is supposed to work, that at the end of the day, we are supposed to be making music.
Yes.
We're not making
It's
music.
kind of the objective.
Right?
Yeah.
We're not making music when we're just doing drills all the time.
Right.
So there's got to be that balance, and then that kind of mental adjustment that goes from, okay, I drilled and I, practiced my drills and my scales and all that stuff, my rudiments or whatever, and now I'm going to, focus on this song.
I have the skill set.
Right.
Now I'm going to exercise my skill set.
Yeah.
That's the idea. That's the way it should work.
Yeah.
Well,
and sometimes you can get in your head and mess it all up because you're like intimidated by the fact that maybe the song length or the song tempo or something like that, and you're forgetting about
never seen
these
before.
are skills you've done.
Right.
This is just easy.
Right, you haven't seen it in that context,
Yeah.
but it doesn't mean that it's not there. And I said that several times last week when I was working with some students. I was like, you know what to do.
Yes.
You know how to read the notes, you know how to count, you know how to put it all together. You just need to practice putting it all together.
Well, and that's what I was telling you, that the focus for me the last couple of weeks with all my students has been like what skill are we learning from this? Because with piano especially,
it's good to ask them that.
Yeah, it's easy to be like, check this song off, I got this page is done, yay, I passed this
that's
page,
what happens.
I passed this page. Instead of, what did you learn? I mean, even the other day I had a young student, and I said, okay, so what are you supposed to be learning from this song? And she was like 7, and she was like, nothing, deer in the headlights. I said, look at the page. What do you think you're supposed to be learning from this song?
Yeah.
Well, it was about playing sharps, and it said at the top of the page, playing sharps.
You mean the hint in bold print across the top?
And that was it. And so she read that, and then she was like, oh, because she kept missing the sharp in the song and playing it natural instead of playing it sharp. And so then guess what? Okay, now she did it. She passed it because this is that's what I'm supposed to be working on. So that, in going back to our summer slump, sometimes can help the summer slump if this is the skill I'm working on right now. I'm working on playing sharps. Okay, just focus on that and take it in little chunks instead of just
let me ask you, what do you think, because it happens to our adult students as well.
Oh yeah.
It's not just our kids that go to school, because that's a common one, because everything drops when summer comes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Even in adults.
Yeah, but so what do you think is the motivating factor for some of our adult students that, when summertime comes around, we tend to see a drop off in motivation, a drop off in practice, and things like that? What do you think prompts that?
Well, I can tell you that the thing, from my perspective, is it's discipline. Mm-hmm. If you have a disciplined approach to your learning, you're running that routine during the school year or during regular, non-summer times. And then when summer comes, you have to keep doing that. Mm-hmm. It's when they change their attitude and they lighten up on it and they don't pursue it as much. And you get the people that, well, I practiced 6 hours yesterday, before my lesson.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, how much did you practice before that?
I was really busy this week.
Yeah.
I know.
It was
But
hot outside.
Yeah.
I think what happens what happens with adults in the summer, they're not in school and then out of school. They're still working or even
It's an
retired.
attitude.
But what I see happening is family is coming into town. They go on vacation. Grandkids are coming over to visit.
The routine gets blown up.
Things are happening.
Right. So Dad and I were talking about that this morning. The routine gets disrupted. So you've been chugging along with this. I practice every day at 3:00 or whatever, and now you can't because the grandkids are there. And so you got to look ahead at your week and say, and now my one super duper piano student, shout out to Lourdes, yay Lourdes.
All right, Lourdes.
Yeah.
She's doing so great, and I don't think she thinks she is, but she really is. She has a lot of grandkids, and every week has been different grandkids visiting. Like she'll say, this is the older ones came last week. This week
that's
it's
nice.
the middle,
Yeah.
and then next week are the little ones or whatever. But so she looks ahead at her week. This is what we're doing. These are the times I can do my practice. So
Yeah.
she thinks ahead.
That's good.
She knows the times that they're going to be out at the beach or they're going to be doing
You
something.
might have to adjust your practice
And then she
time.
adjusts
Yeah,
her
yeah,
practice.
yeah.
And the first group were the older grandkids that came, and she said that was easy because they could just go be on their tablets or their phones, and she would
And
practice.
she had time. Yeah.
Right, and she could practice the regular like she has, and so far she hasn't missed a beat. And
Yeah,
she's
that's good.
had visitors all summer. So
Yeah, that's
it's-
a success
But
story.
it's thinking ahead. This is how my schedule's going to be different this week. Where can I put the
And
practice
the
in?
bottom line is commitment. Like I said,
Yeah.
it's discipline and commitment. Are you committed to doing this? Then you're
Yeah.
going to find a way to do it.
Because
Like
it's
I always-
important to you.
I
Yeah.
always tell people,
Yeah.
don't wait till you feel like doing it.
Right.
Because
Right.
that day's never going to come.
Yeah.
I mean, some days you're going to wake up, you really feel like practicing, you go at it and you tear it up.
Yeah.
And then the next day you just, no, I'm tired, man. And
Right.
you give into that and you don't do it. And then all of a sudden there's too many other factors going on to be able
Right.
to put your time to practice in there and you lose it.
Well, it does. It just kind of domino effect.
Yeah, it
you know?
snowballs.
To be fair, okay, if you miss a week of practice, like, nobody's gonna die. Like, it's,
Right.
you're not gonna lose all of your skills after
Yeah.
1 week of no practice. But, like, I have several students that I know right now are going out of town. And so we talked about it, and I said, all right, well, you need to practice all the way up, and they're not going to be able to bring their instruments or whatever.
Yeah.
Practice all the way up until it's time to go. You go, enjoy your vacation, but just know when you come back,
You got some work to do.
and you got to get yourself back in that routine.
Yeah.
Because you can't come back and be like, oh, I'm tired,
Right.
You have to come back and go, okay, I gotta prioritize this again, kind of back to reality here, and when you do that, get yourself back in the routine. It's only going to take you a couple of days to get
Right.
back
Back up to
up.
speed.
But you
Yeah.
got to be committed to getting back in
Yeah.
that routine.
I think the second day is always the hardest. Like that first day of practice after you get back, it's kind of like, okay, here we go, getting back into it. But then it's difficult because you've been out of it for a week or two, depending on how long it's been. And, so you're rusty, and the stuff that you were able to do before, you can't do the same. It's just not firing, as rapidly as it was. And, to a certain degree, I think a lot of people in their head know that, but like
Right.
fully realizing that is a hard thing. And then it's the second day that they wake up and it's like time to practice, like, because yesterday was such a struggle.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't feel like it today, and
Burn out after one day.
yeah, that's it. That second day, if you can make it past the second day, I feel like you'll be fine. You get yourself back in, but it's that second day of it, and it's all mental because it's the same thing like with exercise and going to the gym and stuff. Like typically speaking, when you exercise, you feel better after you exercise, right? But most of the time you don't feel like doing the exercise when you think about it too much.
So you get started.
Until you get started, right?
Yeah,
And then once
yeah.
you're in there, and especially when it's over and you get that good feeling, then it's like, oh, okay, this wasn't so bad,
Yeah.
And I feel like the practice issue is the same kind of thing. Like once you get yourself back from your vacation mode and get back into the routine, it gets better, and then you can kind of snap out of it.
It's
and
kind of the
keep going.
beauty of music. The lesson is, according to our philosophy, because you can apply these skills to life, to anything in life.
Yes.
If it's your education and you have to study and pursue a degree, all these skills apply. If you're working at a job and you're trying to get ahead, all these skills apply. You can be disciplined enough to be able to get better at what you're doing to achieve the goals you want, where I think that's better than just, learning a song,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it.
It's a big part of our philosophy is that
Keep growing.
yeah, it involves discipline and work and all those dirty words, but you can learn to enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
I always say in the mind of a musician, this is normal.
Right. Well, and I was talking to a student last week about this idea of music being a hobby and how it's just like any other hobby. And I was telling her about how we used to build model cars. You remember?
Yeah.
And you remember that model shop that we went to a couple of times, and they had those classes for kids, you know, and I got to build as a part of that. And I mean that's a common hobby, right?
Yeah,
Building, especially around here, we got people that like to build model airplanes and stuff like that, and whatnot. Do you think it's ever work? Like,
Gosh.
those little teeny tiny pieces,
I know.
and like you put the glue on, and you go to put it in and realize something's in the way, and now the glue's drying, and like shoot, I gotta fix this real quick before
you set it down. Now it's stuck.
Now
to
it's
the table.
stuck to the table. Oh man, I'd say it, or it gets stuck to the paper, and then, and I mean,
That's interesting.
it happens, right?
Yeah,
and like, I'm never gonna build model cars ever again because I got frustrated one time. No.
People do that though.
Well, I mean, I guess
they miss out.
But then that's the thing, they miss out. And so like this is, for the people that are out there, taking lessons and thinking like this is their hobby. I'm just, we hear it all the time. I don't want to be professional, I just want to do this for fun. And I totally understand that. But all of the stuff that we're telling you is about being able to do it and enjoy it and have fun.
Yes.
It's the keys to being able to do that.
Sure.
And I had a guy one time where he was saying that whole I don't want to be a professional because he was basically saying that he wanted to get out of doing the work that I had told him to do.
Well, isn't that very common?
That was the thing, and it was funny because I was a little harsh because he was like, "Well, I don't want to be a professional." And I was like, "Well, that's good because you're pretty far away from it."
You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, that's never gonna happen.
It's really, I mean, I wasn't gonna go that far, but I mean, I was kind of like, how far away you are from actually being a professional right now. Like, I'm so glad because you got a long way to go, man. Like, and it was so funny because that was the thing is what I was, having him do and what I was teaching him how to do was it was along the line of establishing fundamental skills that ultimately are going to pay off, but you have to work at it. You have to, you have to put effort in, and like, that excuse of, I'm not gonna be a professional, or anything, like it's almost like, get off my back. Like
it's an excuse.
Yeah, it's an excuse. Yeah, and
it's not a good one because it doesn't hold water.
Right, and then that's the thing is to really understand what it's like to be a professional musician. Like I don't think people have any idea unless you're related to one or you've worked closely in that field.
You got a friend who's one.
You got right. I was talking to some people the other day about studio musicians and what it was like to work in studio. And the reason why I could speak about that is because of all the studio musicians we've met and talked to and had personal relationships with. That I understand.
You're sitting across the table from one.
Well, right. I mean, exactly. So, I mean, that's where I can draw from what that's like. But I think your average person really doesn't understand, what that is like.
Well, that that whole studio thing is it's kind of a secret society, because those guys work extremely hard.
Oh, I was going to say.
And they are some of the best, bar none, the best musicians on the planet.
Absolutely.
And their job requires them to just come in, hit it cold, nail it.
Right.
Because time is money and they're on the clock.
Move on to
they're
the
not
next.
going to be patient for you to figure it out.
That's it. Yeah.
So they got to work extra hard.
Yeah.
Then you got your studio musicians and your road musicians.
Right.
You know, this drummer played
Touring
it in the
musicians.
studio, and then this one's playing it on tour. You know, and
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, yeah.
having to nail it down. You know, and
Yeah,
That's a lot of work.
Absolutely.
But definitely back to gaining the skills to make it so then it is fun. I'll do another shout out today because I know
We're shouting everybody.
I am shouting out Tim Jose because I know the Jose's.
Tim.
They listen to our podcast. Hi, Jose family. But Tim wants to play a lot of different songs that he knows from movies and TV and video games, and relatives have given him books of songs that are like, when he brought the one book in, it's like way above his level.
Yeah.
And but he's now in the second level book, and he's gaining the skills, and he's actually starting to be able to play some of these songs. And granted, I mean, I will tell you, he hasn't had a bad lesson in months. He practices,
That's
he
awesome.
comes in, he knows what he's working on, he knows I can play it at 60 and 80.
he's disciplined.
He's disciplined.
He's
and I
learned the
guarantee that he's playing these extra songs too, because he wants to play
Well,
these
it's
other
kind of
songs.
there's like a fun thing.
Yes.
You know, you get motivated by, you know, noodling around with this other stuff.
Yeah.
And it helps you to, you know, to work your skills that help you get that better, and it just, you know, works
And it
together.
works hand in hand. It is. It's great. And it's great to see that as a teacher. It's encouraging to see them taking it like to the next level.
Yeah, and that's what you want
Yeah.
for your students. You know, you want to be able to guide them, but then allow them to, you know, give them the skills, those foundations that we were talking about, so then that way they can go and play the stuff they want to play.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Great.
Cool, good stuff. Yeah, well, keep it up, Tim. And
Yeah,
we
you
want
go.
some Texas coffee. So.
Oh, really? Is that it? I don't know. That Woodley Island stuff was
Who was
so
promising
good.
you coffee the other day?
There was somebody, I can't remember.
They're going to Costa Rica or something?
Oh yeah. It was Summer Mobley.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He
One
said
of our favorite students.
Yeah. He said he was going to Costa Rica, and I said, "Bring me some coffee." He said, "I'm gonna do that."
Yeah,
there you
he
go.
will.
Yeah,
You will.
yeah.
That's
it.
nice. Yeah,
It's
there
good
you go.
stuff. Good stuff.
It is.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and take a break right there, and we'll be right back.
Ron Kaye's music instruction has been trusted by thousands in Pensacola to learn, play, and love music. Our strong passion for teaching music provides expert knowledge and guidance which helps you succeed and have fun with your music lessons. Whether it's a bucket list dream or a desire to enhance your child's life, our music lessons are the answer. Call 850-453-9966 now. Realize your musical dreams. Visit musiclessonspensacola.com today.
All right, and we're back.
We're back.
So-
I have a gigantic water bottle now. Sorry, I
Wow.
don't have my coffee.
It's not as big as
It's
other
not as
water
big
bottles.
as normal.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's good.
It says hydrate, then educate.
Yeah.
It's very good for a
Jay, I
teacher.
knew you wanted to show everybody.
I wanted to show everybody my water bottle because I like it.
Cool. There you go.
Okay.
Well, I proposed the idea of a summer playlist. So, what are some songs? Because we're talking about summertime, and we're here, kind of, you know, in summer now. What are some songs that you guys know and like that remind you summertime? Like to listen to at summertime.
Okay, well, I will do mine. Summer breeze
Yeah, that's a
makes
good
me
one.
feel fine. And then you can't help. What do you think of when I start singing Summer Breeze?
Seals and Crows.
Well, yes, and okay, well, they're not with me here. There's a condo unit place
Oh,
in Destin
in
called
Destin.
Summer Breeze.
Yeah,
And I would sing it
okay.
every time we go to Destin. It's
Yeah.
kind of like the Kookaburra song of the
Have, have you looked at the Apple Music summer songs?
Yeah.
I don't
yeah.
even know these songs. Am I old or what, man?
Yeah,
I know.
there's a lot of new ones on here. Like, you know, yeah. I know.
I think of Cool in the Gang, you know.
Yeah.
And,
There you go. I have that on my playlist. See, I don't
Cool
go
in
to
the
that. I
Gang.
just go to my playlist and look at my songs that make
Well,
me
see,
think of
that's
summer.
that's the difference right there. Yeah.
100 all-time summer songs. Watermelon Sugar.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's by Harry Styles. Yeah.
That you've heard that. It came on the radio the other day.
In a summer evening.
No, but what's the
And it
chorus?
sounds just like a song. Watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high.
Yeah.
You've heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's a good jam.
But I didn't know what he was saying. Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry,
watermelon sugar.
Harry Styles.
Hi.
I'm sure you're
Yeah.
listening
Good
to our
vibrations.
I'm digging up good vibrations. She's
Summer?
giving me
Just
excitation.
'cause
Absolutely.
it's
It's the
the
Beach
Beach
Boys. Come
What do
on.
you think? The Beach Boys were skiing?
Yeah, but they didn't just sing in the summer. I mean, that was
They
year
weren't
round.
even surfers.
I know.
I know, right? Come on. Everybody in the ocean.
What?
Get the USA.
I know.
Yeah.
Heat wave.
Yeah. Ah,
Yeah, there you go.
That's a Pensacola song there.
I know, right?
Well, Dad mentioned before, because Josh breached the subject before we went on camera, and Saturday in the Park by Chicago, which of course is
Yes.
that is
well, and
very good.
they always play it at the 4th of July fireworks event. You know,
Yeah.
I think it was the 4th of July.
Great
Yay.
stuff.
It is. It's good.
Who does that? That's Chicago.
It is.
Yeah. That's
I
good.
like that Kobe Calais, "Brighter Than the Sun." Brighter than the sun.
Oh yeah.
So I want to clue everybody into this Leonid and Friends.
Oh
On
right.
Facebook.
Yeah, you were telling me.
Yeah, if you search
Leonid
them
and Friends.
and look them up,
Awesome.
they're, in my opinion, hands down, the best cover band.
Yeah.
They've got horns, they got guitar, bass,
Cello.
bongos, drums. They got a string section. These guys are phenomenal.
Yeah.
They do Chicago covers. If you close your eyes, you'd swear it was Chicago, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can
they're
attest.
flawless.
He's telling the truth. It was awesome. Yeah, they're phenomenal.
Yeah.
I just stumbled upon them the other day, and I was like, man, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I spent hours on my phone listening to their songs, man, because I was
Yeah.
like, they're just too good.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. They're really tight. You know, those horns.
Very
Oh,
tight.
it was amazing. Yeah.
Timing together and stuff. It was
Hot
phenomenal.
time in the summer.
Oh yeah, that's having fun in the summertime. Who does that one?
Sly and the Family Stone.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Having fun in the summertime.
Yeah.
You know the one that I think of too, talking about like older like, you know, R&B rhythm and blues, you know, like 70s. There's that song "Grazing in the Grass." You remember?
Oh, yeah.
Da, da,
Grazing
da,
in the grass if you
da,
can you dig?
Yeah, that's it. That's
Oh,
it.
oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's,
yeah.
Everything feels so good.
That's it.
Can
That's
you
it.
dig it?
Yeah.
And it's real, so real, so real.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man.
Yeah, that's a good summertime song right there. Yeah,
They
absolutely.
got Superstition on here.
Really? As a summertime song?
I'm not so sure about
Yeah,
that.
I don't know.
Well, there's a song that I like that makes me think of summer. That it's Uncle Cracker, and I tell my voice students all the time. I'm all about the song. I like songs that make you feel good, and sometimes I like songs that make you cry. Or, you know, I kind of have both. And I don't always go for the songs that have the best singer, but I just like songs that make you feel good. And he has a song, "Good to Be Me."
Yeah,
And really, it's such a feel-good song.
That's a good one.
T-tops down in my Cutlass Supreme. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
great, it's a really great feel-good song. He has a lot of very funny songs that to me make me laugh, but feel-good songs.
Well, here's one that I love to play on the drums, Smooth.
Oh, yeah, that's
man, it's a
Thomas
hot
Carlson.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like 7 inches from the midday sun. That's Pensacola.
yes.
Talk about it.
Yes.
today.
I love that.
Yes,
Oh man, especially today. Jeez,
today.
it's so
we're
hot.
not playing golf today
Man.
because it is supposed to be the hottest day of the year.
Yeah, well,
So-
we're inside and you
We're
know,
fine,
it's-
yes.
Yeah, but it is hot. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a great
That's
song.
definitely a good one right there. Yeah, there was. It's funny going through some of these here because I think that some of these are on the list because it's not necessarily that they're like summertime reminiscing songs. They were like hits during
In the summer. Yeah.
Oh, that's what I think
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Well, like there's a song that in here called "Mine" by this guy named Bazzi, and it's a real smooth, you know, sound to it, and he has a pretty good voice, you know, and that's the thing. So like that one's in there, but see, that was popular because I remember singing that like when doing
in the summer.
That's it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool.
The Boys of Summer, Don Henley.
I can see you.
Oh,
Your brown skin shine in the sun.
That's
there you
it.
go.
Yeah, that's it. Sunglasses on, baby. Yeah. That's a good one. Boys of Summer. Forgot.
Love Shack.
So we need to know what your favorite summer song is, and so you need to write it in the comments.
There
right?
you go.
That would be great.
Yeah, we'll post it.
That would
you guys
be
can
super.
answer. Yeah,
I'd love to see
tell us
that.
what's in your summer playlist. You know.
I know.
Yeah.
I get.
There's
kind
always
of,
Will Smith's "Summertime." Summertime. Yeah, see, I knew I'd bring it up, and you guys would.
Sweet Home Alabama.
Summertime song.
Yeah.
You know what's funny to me is like some of the songs that I think of as summertime songs. Okay, but it's totally
not related to summer.
at all. Okay,
Okay.
all right. No. I went to church last Sunday so I could sing and pray. And something quite unusual happened on that day.
Yeah, that's
To the
awesome.
Lord,
love
praises be. It's time for dinner now.
Yeah.
Let's go eat. I got some beans and some good
So,
cornbread.
okay.
So
Listen
name that
to
artist.
what the
I
preacher
love it.
said.
Wow. I
But that's
love
it.
because
That's it.
in the summer we would drive in the car to various places on our summer excursions, and we would listen to that Lyle Lovett album cover to cover.
The
Yeah.
the live album from San Antonio, Texas.
Yes.
Yes.
That was it.
That was a great
masterpiece,
album.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
And just an aside, probably one of the best concerts Dad and I ever went to.
Yeah.
We got to see him live in concert.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but we didn't see his big band. That
No,
would've
it
been-
was just him on the stage, and
Yeah.
it was
Well, and he had
and
that
it
one
was
guy
great. And
playing
he had
guitar.
another guy playing the guitar with him,
Yeah.
and
That's cool.
it was really great. It was a great evening. So yeah, it was a good.
M-O-N-E-Y, baby.
Yeah.
M-O-N-E-Y.
Well, and that's
Yeah.
why we bought that album, was because of that song. That song was in the movie, the Tom Cruise movie.
The Firm.
Yes.
The Firm.
Yeah.
And that we loved that
That's it.
movie and loved that song from the movie, so Ron went and bought the album, and then we just
Yeah.
we would play it. Well, we must have had it on CD unless we made a tape. I don't know.
You could have.
I'm
You
not
could
sure
have.
how long
That's it.
ago it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, we used to listen to that in the car. Yeah.
That's good.
That was that's
good.
good memories.
Yeah.
So that makes you think of summer. Very
Definitely.
good. I love
definitely. So
that. Yeah, excellent.
cool. All right. Well, you ready to talk a little football here?
Just a
Wrap
little.
this up. Just
Yeah.
a little. So, okay. So.
Chopping at the bit.
Yeah. Well, so we've got. I've been doing some mock drafts. Getting ready for fantasy and.
It's cheating.
Yeah. That's it. And I'm not gonna go on and on about So don't. Everybody's
Don't
racing for
tune
the
out.
button.
You're gonna-
That's it.
You're going to
Yeah.
listen to all the experts and get it wrong just like last year.
Well, that's the thing. I got like last year. Come on.
They were all wrong.
Yeah.
Well, he did pretty
not
good.
all.
He did better than me.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't do better than me.
Yeah.
No,
well,
he didn't.
There we go. So yeah, I am changing my strategy up a little bit, but there's just a lot of unknowns. Like
Oh, yeah, it's so early.
Yeah, and like with Dalvin Cook, got let go, from the Vikings, and he still hasn't been signed by any team. And everybody's saying like this is really weird. Like I don't understand why nobody. I mean, he's a good running back.
Yeah.
Like why are we not? Why isn't he getting picked up? So I think he's gonna get picked up, and I think he's probably gonna do really well. But because of that, right now in all the mock drafts, like he's being drafted way down, like in the 5th and 6th round.
Yeah.
Because he's not on a team.
Because he's not on a team. And it's the same thing with DeAndre Hopkins, wide receiver. Because, he was really good for a lot of years, and I still think he's got some left, but, he's a free agent, hasn't signed yet. And so, so he might, a lot of this, like, once these guys find teams and get signed and stuff, and I'm kind of waiting.
Settle down a little bit.
That's it. I'm kind of waiting. Like I'm thinking we'll start it up about August or so. That's when I'll schedule the draft and we'll make it happen. And then
So that
we can
would be
get
the
some
next
So let me ask
Yeah.
you a Browns question here.
more. Okay.
Uh-oh.
What impact is Deshaun Watkins?
Watson.
Watson.
He is still
Jeez.
kid.
I'll get his name right when he starts throwing freaking touchdowns. Until then, he's like, whatever.
He's a whatever that guy.
Wadsworth. What impact is he going to have on Chubb's mentality and his play in the game?
Nothing.
Why? Because they're going to want to go pass, and Chubb's not going to be getting any work.
Yeah, I don't think so.
There was a while back there, Stefanski said, well, I'll just run Chubb 100 times,
Well, and that's the thing is I think that he recognizes the fact that he's got one of the best running backs on the team, and I don't think
really.
That,
do you think? I don't think he
100%.
treated him right last year.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think there was a lot of factors. I think there was a lot of stuff that was going on behind the scenes that we weren't always aware of. Like apparently that one time that Baker challenged him in the practice room, and so he was like okay, and that was the game that Chubb didn't run at all.
Yeah,
because he was trying to humble Baker Mayfield. And so he was just
that's what we're paying for.
Yeah, that's it. So he was just throw, right? Yeah. So I mean, that's the thing is I don't know if you can, nothing. You don't know for sure until you see it. But right now the word is it's going to be Chubb and Jerome Ford. He really likes Jerome Ford, and those are going to be, and they still have. What's his name? Dearness Johnson.
Oh, really?
I think so, don't they?
I don't think so.
I think they still have Hunt.
They do, but the word on that is that he's gone. I mean,
they
even though
keep
he's
saying
still,
that, but he's still on the team.
Even though he's killed his career, man.
Yeah, but he did a lot of that to himself. I mean, he wouldn't have been on Cleveland's team in the first place and would have won a championship with the Chiefs had he not gotten in trouble like he did before. So I don't feel too bad for him. I think that he's definitely done. He made amends. And moved on.
Yeah, Dearness went. He went to the Jaguars.
The thing about Hunt is in the beginning of the year, Chubb and Hunt.
Right.
Put Chubb in, put Hunt in, put them both in. They didn't know what the hell was next. Oh my God, what are they throwing at us here?
Yeah.
And then let's get away from that.
Then they just totally
It's working,
stopped.
so let's just run one of them till he's blue in the face and then throw the other one in.
It wasn't the plan. So
it was the plan. It was the plan.
The plan.
And talks about his game plan, right? Yeah. So the interesting thing was there was the NFL put out their power rankings, ranking the head coaches.
Yes.
And the normal ones were at the top of the list, and stuff. Stefanski was number 20.
Oh, he wasn't in the negatives?
No, he was number 20. Well, because they did
negative 75.
Believe it or not, there were worse teams than the Browns last year.
Well, yes, there were.
I think
there wasn't any dumber.
Well,
That's
depends on who you. Yeah, it depends on who you ask. No, so the thing is though, number 20, there were a lot of people that were like Cleveland fans that were surprised by that he was.
They thought he should have been higher.
He should have been higher.
Well, to go from coach of the year 2 years ago
to producing squat.
Well, exactly.
Nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, this brilliant bunch of people in the administration there, what do they got to show? A bunch of losing seasons.
Yeah.
With the coach of the year, right? I thought that was a gimme. They gave that to him because they liked him. They wanted to wish him well.
It was the pandemic. It was he coached that one game from his basement. I mean, they made the playoffs the first time in all those years.
That's why.
I mean, that was the thing.
Because we made the playoffs.
Right. So I think that year was deserving, but somebody pointed out the fact that a lot of weird things happened during that COVID year.
Yeah.
Because there were times where you would play games and all of the starters were sick.
Right. Or they weren't sick. They had been exposed. Even if they were just exposed
they
to
were
COVID,
they were out the game.
They were out the game.
There were no fans in the stands.
Yeah.
So it was really not even a fair comparison.
It wasn't.
Right.
Coaching.
Yeah.
And so that was the thing. So the conversation last year after they did so bad, or really it just didn't live up to the expectations, was that a fluke? That they did that, and so
definitely.
Yeah. So the interesting thing about next season is he is absolutely in the hot seat because
you say that, but then there's people writing columns saying that. These guys are going to do it. They're going to pull it out. This is going to be great, and he's going to be here for the long haul.
Well, I think because that's what they want. The hope is that they're not going to blow it up.
blow sunshine at people.
I know,
We're not
yeah,
stupid.
but that's the thing is like we've been through so many changes. You you run the coaches for 2 years, it doesn't work out, they blow the whole thing up and try again, and it doesn't work out, and they blow it up and they try again.
And are they unusual in the league doing that?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah. Well, according
Look
to
at Texas, man.
Well, yeah, but
Well, and look at the Jaguars. I think that what happens is this time of year, there's so much speculation.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought it was interesting last year, the one game we watched, which was Cleveland and Jacksonville, and we watched it on the Jacksonville station.
Yeah.
So then you got to hear the Jacksonville perspective.
Talking about
blowing
about
sunshine in their face.
Right,
Right.
and so it was a lot of the same stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it was, that team. And now this year, they're talking like they're going to go all the way. I mean, they've got...
Jacksonville?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they've got a lot of potential. They
Well,
really
there's
do.
a lot of talent, but I don't know how well their defense is, so we'll have to see.
That's
about
the
that.
problem.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, but it's gonna be interesting to see.
I'm chomping at the bit there.
Yeah.
Did you vote today?
Well, yeah, I was going to tell our listeners, I don't
Yes.
know if it'll be too late by the time this airs,
No.
but we have been nominated for, on the Guide to Florida. It's called The Guide to Florida. And they vote for the best music studio, music instructors in Florida. And we're on there. So I was going to, I don't know.
And we are currently winners of
We
that
won.
award.
I was just gonna say,
won
didn't we
last
win
year.
last year?
This is going to be the next, this current year. So we won 22.
Yeah.
This is for 23.
23.
Yeah, so go vote
we'd
for
appreciate
us
your
at
vote. Yes.
The Guide to Florida. You'll have to put like a link or something.
Yeah, I'll put a link. We'll put it in our social media and put it out there. Yeah.
Yeah, so
That'd
I
be
didn't.
good.
You can vote every day for I don't know how long, but I need to.
Until it closes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah.
So
I wanted
yeah,
to bring
so
that up.
vote for us. That'd be great. Yeah. So.
That's it.
And like when we won, I didn't vote at all. So it was other people's opinions, not just me
yeah, that was
voting
nice.
100 times.
Right. So, I know. Well, because somebody nominated.
Come on,
us.
Doc,
Right.
come
I
on.
know.
Yeah.
Somebody nominated us that
Yes.
we don't know because we didn't nominate ourselves. So
Yeah,
we
But
got
then
nominated.
you have to have quite a few other people vote for you.
because it's for the whole state.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that was kind of nice.
And we won the region, so
Right, yeah. That
That's
was
awesome.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was exciting.
Maybe we'll do it again.
I know.
Good.
That would be
Yeah.
great.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us for Coffee with the Kays. We
Yes.
hope you enjoyed it, and make sure that you like and subscribe. And if you're listening to us in podcast, make sure that podcast form, I should say, make sure you subscribe so that you can see every episode that comes out. And feel free to go back and check out some of our past episodes. We've had some good ones for sure.
The Weasel Coffee one.
The
Weasel, that was a good
We
one.
always
was
bring
a
up
good
the
one.
Weasel Coffee
Flashback.
one. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that was good. And believe it or not, that Valentine's Day one that we did with
That was a big hit.
Yeah, people really like that one too. So yeah,
it's
you
a
can
good
check
one.
that one out too. The music for the intro and outro is provided by this guy off of his album K-Struction. So be sure you check that out. And if you're interested in music lessons, voice lessons, any kind of instrument lessons, you like what you hear, go to musiclessonspensacola.com and get more information. And we'd love to be your teachers.
Yeah.
Sign you up. All right.
All right.
So that sounds good. We'll see you guys next time on another episode of Coffee with the Kays.